One of the audition tapes that was successful was that of one of our newest DJs, Eamon Kelly, presenter of the Broadland Beat.
Yes, well, Eamon Kelly came to us from Irish radio. The radio scene over there was very different not so very long ago. An awful lot of pirates radio stations, land-based pirate stations in Ireland, and Eamon had a lot of experience there. He knew that they were about to be closed down by the government there, so he was looking to move into independent radio in this country. He happened to be looking just at the time when we were looking for a presenter, and his tape landed on the desk, and well, the rest is history, really.
Well, basically, I started working in radio about 7 years ago now. Generally, I suppose you could say I've worked at 4 major stations in Ireland, 2 in Dublin and 2 in a place called Cork on the south coast of Ireland. And it's not going to mean an awful lot to people watching this video now, but one of the stations in particular, and the station that I was working on most recently before I came to Britain, was called Q102 in Dublin. It's a very large station, high-powered FM stereo that can be picked up on the west coast of England. It can be picked up in the Isle of Man and in Wales as well. Some people sometimes ask, why did you come to Britain if things were working out pretty well in Ireland and you're working on big stations and stuff? Basically because I wanted to leave whilst I was still ahead there and things were going well, and I also wanted to work in Britain and see how things might work out for me here in this country. So far in England I've enjoyed every minute of working here, and that's not just for the video, that's honest truth. How did I actually get here? Well, basically I met a lot of English people whilst I was working in Ireland, because there are in fact a lot of British people involved in the radio industry in Ireland, and they invited me over from time to time as we lost contact and they came back to England. They invited me over just for holidays and stuff, and I took one guy up in particular, a chap called Neil, and a friend of mine who works in Chiltern Radio, which is based in Luton. He invited me over to London where he lives to stay there for a working holiday. So I decided to go and move to London earlier on this year, and whilst I was there I saw an advertisement for Radio Broadland. They were looking for a presenter, and to cut a long story short, I applied and got the job, and I'm very pleased that I did get the job now.
Radio Broadland, FM 102.
You may be thinking by now that radio is a man's world. That's what they told Chrissy Jackson. Originally a nightclub DJ, Chrissy started at Broadland with the Friday night Stepping Out show, playing soul and funk between 7 and 9. Now on the radio daily between 1 and 4 as Nick Risby's replacement, presenting the afternoon show.
I remember someone saying to me, oh, do you know such and such a person has sent a tape to Radio Broadland? And I remember thinking, well, if he can do it, I can. Which sounds a bit of a silly thing to say now. So I thought, oh, well, blow it. I'll do a tape and send it in. Which I did, and from that point I was invited down and had a look round, and that's then where I really set my heart on wanting to work here. Whether it was difficult or easy, I don't really know, because I haven't got anything else to weigh that up against. I haven't got any other female DJs to talk to ask them whether my getting into radio was any easier or more difficult to their sort of story. I do think here that I work alongside some good males that treat me just as one of the team, which is how I'd want it. I'd hate them to treat me any other way, and I want them to come to me and they should be able to say, oh, Chrissy, I don't think you've done this right, or you don't think you've done that. I don't think they should treat me any differently because I'm female, and I'd hate it if they did. I really would. I really would. But I think we all get on very well.
Warm and friendly on your radio.
10 till 1 presenter Dave Brown, who we've seen already talking about his role as head of music and the type of records that are played on Broadland.
Good music through the day.
One type of music that does get its fair share of play on the station, and that is country music.
On Radio Broadland.
Country music, of course, is tremendously popular in this area, and Bob Morgan is our country music presenter. He's a real expert on the subject, and that's why we've got Bob there playing country music.
Actually, it's really weird anyway to be called expert country music, because I mean, how can anybody be an expert at something that's been around for about 50 years? All I'm an expert on really is the bits I know about. You've caught me at a bad moment anyway, because really I'm supposed to have the hat and the guns and the star and the boots, and every other word's supposed to be yeehaw. That's the image, you see. But it really isn't like that at all. Country music's produced, I don't know, Bruce Springsteen will be top of the country music hit parade within the next 3 years, there's a bet. And that's the kind of music we're playing now. We're not playing cowboy music, like the Sons, the Pioneers. That's cowboy music. And that's what people get wrong. I mean, a recent poll said that country music was the second most popular music in the country, second to classics. So I don't really believe the survey anyway, because I reckon country music's probably the most popular. But we're all supposed to go yeehaw. But expert is a funny word. I play what I like, and I hope that the people out there like what I play. And so far they have. I've been here since the station started, and I think it's that they don't quite know how to get rid of me. The grand old man of Radio Broadland. The only genuine antique.
Bob Morgan, on the air Monday to Thursday and Sunday afternoon with country music. Now that Radio Broadland is live 24 hours a day, somebody had to be found to broadcast through the small hours. A job successfully performed by the newest DJ, Steve Coe. How is he fitting in with the station?
Very well. I mean, working at night has disadvantages in that I don't see that many people. When I come in at night, there's usually only 2 or 3 people hanging around. So when I do come in during the day, then I see people obviously bustling around during the daytime. And they're all very nice. The whole team is made up of people who you can get along very easily with. And you find that even being new to it, you can fit in quite well. The music format was, in the beginning we decided it was going to be almost the same as the daytime, only slightly lighter. Obviously a different audience at night, in that although you've got people who are at work all night and they want the sort of jolly chart sounds and stuff, we decided that there's also people who wanted to get off to sleep, and therefore they would rather require some softer, mellow sounds. So we decided to do a kind of a balance between the two, really. This is the first job in radio. Before that I was doing the amateur things like hospital radio for about 8 years, and discos, of course, allied to that. Turned to being a postman for a while, and getting up quite early to do that. And then this came along, which was rather nice. And so it's the first professional job, some would say.
Like myself, Phil Bodmer first became involved with Broadland after being a finalist in a local newspaper competition. Now Phil hosts The Late Show, Monday to Friday from 10 in the evening until 1 in the morning. Previously a draftsman for a firm in Lowestoft, Phil's task has now changed somewhat, from drawing pictures to hopefully drawing in listeners.
Okay, coming up in this hour we've got the sports news at 10:30 with Charlotte Blofeld, also our Golden Year competition at around 11:15 tonight. Your chance to win some top 40 singles. And at 14 minutes past 10, coming up, we have a song from 1968 by Bruce Chanel.
Phil started his DJ career as a voice for a talking newspaper for the blind, then moved on to Great Yarmouth Hospital Radio Yeah.
Temperatures down overnight to 1 degree, giving a ground frost in some places. The outlook for Thursday, any light rain will clear in the morning to leave a dry and rather cloudy day, and there should be a few breaks in the cloud, giving some bright or sunny intervals. At the moment in Norwich 2 degrees, and also 2 degrees in Great Yarmouth. News and weather at 3 minutes past 10.
Now full-time at Broadland, Phil claims his interest in professional radio came into being with a visit to a radio station not a million miles away from Broadland. The latest compact discs can also be heard on Saturdays, played by this somewhat shy fellow.
One of the nicest things about working on the radio is people don't get a chance to see what colour shirt you've got on. That was the case.
Phil Bodmer, completing the lineup of presenters here on Radio Broadland.